Hello, sweet souls. This is DTO in the flow, and I am speaking from Embody, Costa Rica. We have a beautiful retreat center, and I welcome you to come and check out what we're creating here. Himalaya and myself live on this beautiful acre of property. We have our retreat coming up first week of December, and we have many facilitators, healers, and those teachers and leaders that come on our land. So I want to invite you right away to that. And then if this is the first time you've seen me, check me out at DTO Music on all the platforms, all the places and spaces. And this is our retreat wellness sanctuary in Embody, Costa Rica. And during this broadcast, you can comment live. So we encourage you to do that. Ask any questions. Of course, sharing is caring. And if anything, just comment with an emoji, just so we know that we're out there. And without further ado, I would love to read the beautiful bio of this extraordinary guest that I have today, Kayla Diana, who is a multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, and somatic voice facilitator and mentor. She has 16 plus years of musical experience on and off the stage between live and studio performances, collaborations, and teachings. Kayla Diana has helped hundreds of people experience the magic of music and is known for drawing the voice out of everybody in the room. Being born deaf in one ear and having followed the path of musicianship, she developed a sort of sixth sense for receiving and articulating sound and learning her own method of teaching along the way. She has a deep devotion to the music because of the impact it makes in the world and thrives in collaboration and being in service. Kayla Diana's love for sound has been the thread throughout her life's journey, and she has understood that music is a way of life. Kayla just released music on Jumpsuit Records, and she's also released albums and projects on Westwood and High Vibe. She is a third of the band that I'm a big fan of, Honey Wild. Big shout out to Heather Christie and Ann Walsh, and has shared stages with many awesome artists that are colleagues of ours, which is Trevor Hall, Gone Beyond, Paul Isaac, Dirtwire, Yaiman, and others, and is currently recording an album. All right, let's bring on the one and only. Here she comes, Kayla Diana. How are you, sister? Nice to see you today.
Hello. I'm good. Over up here in Nevada City, California, on this beautiful 90-acre property that I am so proud to live on.
Oh, I love that. Beautiful. I live on an acre and I feel like it's big and spacious, but oh my gosh, you must have like anywhere to roam and forage and
it's just us and the bears out here.
I love it. So great. Fantastic. Well, let's jump right into one of the main intentions of us being on our call today, which is music, and also for you teaching and launching this beautiful somatic voice technique. And how we can learn about it best, I feel, is for us to see a clip of what people have experienced and what you've been offering people. Okay, Here we go.
Soul song, and just get in touch with yourself in this way. It's such a beautiful gift.
And I've been able to learn how to catch the muse. I have songs that come in on the wind, or trees that whisper to me in the woods, and
learning and just experiencing on such a deep level. And I really uncovered so much within myself about my vocal experience, my reality, the terrain that I interact with, the world through my voice.
I'm in love with the work that I'm doing with her, and it's unlike anything that I have done. And she really is, she has a gift.
Trusting the intelligence of your body to show you where the sound wants to go.
Extraordinary. What a beautiful representation of all that you are sharing with your somatic voice technique. And anyone that wants to know the website, it's right below, somaticvoicetechnique.com. And yeah, I wanted to kick off our 5Q interview beforehand to let everyone see and witness the impact and how people are inspired, very similar to what I read in the bio, how you tend to really awaken something in people for them to utilize their voice, their throat chakra to be self-expressed, to recognize that we all are creatures of the universe. So creativity is our birthright. And so for us to be in that magic really matters. All right, so let's kick it off, our 5Q interview. Question number 1. This is your origin story question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. How did you discover music? Let's hear it.
Okay. Wow. How I discovered music. My family's very musical, and it was just such a part of life growing up. And like as you were saying with your mom playing Paul Simon on a record player, I had the same thing. Like my auntie playing Harry Belafonte and Raffi, and my mom, singing all the time. And my grandmother played violin in the orchestra. My grandfather played the trumpet in the Navy band. So there's always music in the house. I actually grew up dancing first. There was also a lot of dancing in the house, a lot of salsa, West African dance, Nia, modern. So it was like a very musical household, and I always loved music and would sing at the top of my lungs. But I was born deaf in one ear, so I really couldn't hear the notes that well. And I had actually no plan of becoming a musician, but music was always what kept me in my body, and was the way that I could I'm so sensitive. So music was always reset me and grounded me. And yeah, as I said, I started dancing first before I became a musician. So music everywhere all the time.
That's what I love about music. It's so able to be repurposed, right? We use music for possibly studying. When we drive in the car, there's certain songs. There's life is a highway,
Oh yeah.
And then you can all of a sudden, when I was in college and this band Nirvana came out, I actually saw them live. What was music for? Getting out your expression and mosh pits. So middle school dances, remember the slow songs would go on, and what would music make you do? Ooh, I'm feeling something in my heart. I got a crush on this person. You'd be like, so isn't it extraordinary how in our lifetimes, music is such a key ingredient? And I love how dance was a very essential part, because the movements of the music, the beats per minute, the overall energy, and the world that those artists created with that art form of music really inspires how the dance works. And of course, we know now, fast forward the 21st century, here we are with, here's TikTok that inspires certain styles of dances based on the song. And there's a whole attitude that comes with certain styles of music. And that's great that the dance really guided you. Now, what style of dance did you start off doing? Was it more contemporary?
I did jazz and modern. Yeah, jazz and modern.
It.
Then I actually ended up teaching a transformational dance class that my mom trained me to teach when I was 16 or 17. So I've been facilitating transformational things that have to do with music.
Oh, I love that.
Forever. Yeah. And I mean any movement ever, in any religion ever, any school of thought, anything, even everything has to do with sound. So there's a lot. It's always oh my God, how much time do we have? Do you have
totally
24 hours to talk about?
Well, I was, my beloved Himalaya, her lineage is from India. So I was just at an Indian wedding, and guess what's an essential ingredient to that is different styles of music. And you have a whole other style called Bhangra music, for example, or as you said, jazz has a whole, I know those 6th and 7th chords that I learned when I was doing jazz band. And then there's a whole other element and component to it. So I think, and I know that for me, sometimes I'm making music, and I'm sure you feel the same way, where you're envisioning how people could get inspired to move their bodies in a particular way by the music and the vibes and the different production studio techniques and perhaps by the lyrics and the message that you're going to sing. So that's what's powerful about music, is how it can just, once it's out there, it's out there, and these ripple effects keep on going and flowing. And so that's really great. So I love that origin story, that your parents introduced you to music, that you started more like dancing, and that was your first experience.
Yeah. I would also print out lyrics and sing them to my brother and make him rate me from 1 to 10.
All right. That's good. And was he a critic? Was he Simon from
He was
American
not
Idol? Or was he the super nice and kind? You're like, you're just awesome. I love you. You're my sister.
Say 10 every time. And then I'd be like, are you serious? And then he'd be like, okay, 9. And I'm like, why? Come on, give me a 10. And so he always
got it. That is great. I love it. I love that. All right. Well, let's jump into question number 2 here.
Okay.
This is a 5Q interview. 5 preguntas. So then you absorbed what this energy is called music. You, of course, danced with your body, your expressions. So then question 2 is, then what inspired you personally to create music, either to play instruments, to sing? Was there an aha moment? Did someone like encourage you to sing, or how did that all come about?
Yeah. Well, I always just loved to sing. I was in choir. And then again, you know, I had a hard time hearing the notes, and I had like really chronic vocal fatigue. So an example, I couldn't like, ooh, it would be like it was so raspy. I had such a small range. But for me, I'm such a somatic being, and I really did not spend a lot of time in my head. Just naturally, like my nature, I've become more like in my head as I've like tried to figure out how to like put all the pieces of my life together. But like when I was, you know, growing up, I just wanted to be in my body, and there wasn't really a thought process about that. So when I was becoming a musician, I wasn't like, I'm gonna be a musician. That was like never a part of the conversation with myself. It was like very, very natural. It was like this force moving through me. And I was so moved by the dance. I mean, like I would spend literally like 3 to 5 hours just like dancing in my living room, like smoking weed as a teenager and like dancing in my living room. But the first time that somebody, when I was 11 years old, somebody said, my friend Lauren, we were on a walk in the neighborhood, and she said, can you teach me how to do that with my voice? I like the way it feels when you sing. Like it feels good in my body. So that was like the first thing that like kind of struck me. And then I really didn't like school. It didn't really work for me, but I liked choir and I liked dance and I liked anything that had to do with creativity. I was deeply creative. So I decided to take a guitar class, and my Aunt Holly gifted me a little red guitar that I still have in my house over there, the yellow one. And I remember a man that my mom was dating at the time, who's like, they're not together, but he's like my dad. He like taught me how to change my strings, and he taught me chords, and he taught me my first scales. And I would be like, hey, how do you play this scale? And we were recently having a conversation, and he was like, you know, I wasn't sure if you were like gonna stick with it, but then I realized you were very serious about the music. So I became obsessed with playing guitar. I would literally play for like 5 hours a day. And it was this force moving through me. And I could feel at the time, I didn't know what was happening, but I was just following the impulse. It was very, very primal, very like, I could feel all of creation. Like I could feel, my grandmother taught me all about this. She calls it the song of the spheres, and she talks about like the spirit of music, which is like the spirit in all things. It's creation, it's God, or whatever you want to call it. So I could feel this, and it just overcome like I felt enraptured by it, and I love that feeling, just being enraptured by something and being out of the mind and into like the muses. So that's really what has been like the driving force. So I started playing guitar, and then I could feel like I could hear the notes in my body through my guitar. I have my guitar on my chest, and I could feel it vibrating. And that's actually how I learned to really sing in tune, was because I could feel where there was resonance from my voice and my guitar. So then I started to understand pitch through the feeling. So this is where the part about being deaf in one ear comes into play. So I actually learned how to sing through my guitar, through feeling the vibration. And then like I just was obsessed with it. I played it all day long. And then I started playing gigs. I started like busking. I was obsessed. I was just like obsessed. And I get very focused on something. Like my ADD gets like, when I'm doing something and I've made up my mind, like there's nothing that's going to stop me in the world. And this just happened to be also my dharma, which I was completely unaware of that concept. So I just like kept going. And then I started playing gigs, and then I met all these like key people, and I'm going to try to keep this a short answer. But this is like the meat, right? So it's like, I kept meeting all these key people, and it was the people along the way. And it was the feeling that I got and the connection. And I remember growing up, going to church, I never felt God. I never felt it. And everybody would be like, oh, I feel like the Holy Spirit. And I'd be like, I don't feel it until I started dancing and playing music. And then I was like, all right, now I'm in. So then I'm, 17, 18. Now I'm playing my first gigs. Now I meet my friend Max Rivner, who played with Nako in Medicine for the People. And he introduced me to Nako, and that like made me realize like what music is for in the service and like the connection. And so then I keep meeting all these people, and now I'm, living out of my backpack, moving to Hawaii, just following the music. So for like most of my 20s, I moved out of my house when I was 16. I like got on the road, and I started just like traveling, like literally as a bard. And I started to notice that people were gathering around me, and they wanted to sing, like they would be singing along. And so then I started writing these like anthemic songs. One of them was, we are made of sound, together we are music. This is my grandmother's favorite song. So then I started realizing like, okay, this is actually way bigger than me. And that's the energy that I was feeling when I was first playing. Like this is the whole point of life. It's like this song of life. And my job is to get people to gather and to sing. And so then, and as well, like my grandma taught me a lot about, in your darkest days, ask how you can be of service. So I'd ask this question over and over again, every time it had to do with music. So then I started and then people would start messaging me and say, I was going to end my life until I heard this song. So I'd be like, okay, now like I really have a reason to do it. I would not be doing this still if it wasn't for the people that told me that this music changed their life. Like it would be too much. Like it would be like there's no way that I would have the willpower to do it if it was just for me. So I'm like a vessel, and I've gone through so many waves with it, but like I am completely devoted to the music and to the sound, because it's what gives me life, and it gave life to me. And as I've gone on, 31, almost 32, and I've gone through so many waves, and being like devoted to like the business side of it and all that, is like I'm literally doing this because it has been a gift that I've been given, and now it's my responsibility. So getting out of the way and just listening and like following the impulse of what's giving me life and what's bringing people together. So I don't know if that answers the question. It's really hard. I was supposed to be 3 minutes, but it's like impossible.
That was extraordinarily perfect.
Okay, good. I'm like, how do I quantify infinity? Like,
of course, exactly.
With my 8s, like always.
Totally hear you. Yeah, and that's what's powerful too, of going for it no matter what. And there's this grit that some of us, like as you said, when you're so impassioned, enthralled, and as you said, your dharmic path, maybe you didn't call it that back then, but when like this is what's in alignment for me, this is one of my purposes. And especially as you said, we all know like emotions come and go, and they're sometimes like passing clouds, and sometimes they stay with us, especially if they're depressive and if they're really low energy and they're really like crunchy energy, that as you said, like people sometimes don't understand that music could be medicine. Music can actually uplift our spirits. It can liven us. They've done case studies and research on like seniors that live in different homes, and they're just sitting in their rooms ready to die, and then they did this project where they walk around with headphones and they played the music from the era that they remember.
The Alive
dancing.
Inside.
Yeah, you've seen it, right? And all of a sudden it's like people just light up, and it's just one component, that one ingredient, which is music. So let's pop this on the screen.
There's me. That's when I was opening for Trevor Hall.
Perfect. I thought you'd be able to give some great commentary on this when I was
My
going through
little
your
cheeky
socials.
face.
Yes, I love it. Looks like an amazing stage, a great setup.
That was in Ashland, Oregon.
Love it. Yeah, as you're saying, like going around, bringing your guitar, singing, and what other people, how they responded to your music is awesome. As you said, it just gives them this sense of, almost purpose or inspiration of, hey, I want to create, I want to sing as well. It just feels good. This is a perfect segue. Question number 3. Boom, here we go. So tell us, how do people respond to your music? What are some like common responses that people say? You gave a couple in your other answer. Is there like this overwhelming description? If someone were to say like people cry, okay, what else?
They cry, they sing, they laugh, sometimes though, when I first started playing out, there was like 3 people that were like, you suck, like you should stop playing forever. And I said, well, that's about the worst thing that can happen, so fuck it, so then anyway, so after that I got way better, but mostly like that was like 3 people when I first started, and I felt like that was just making sure I was committed to the music.
There you go. Yeah, that's like how badly are you in?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like hard to take it in fully, to just like receive that. People cry a lot. They cry a lot and they sing. They cry and they sing and they move and like want to tell me their story of their life and like incredibly vulnerable, beautiful things. And I like when I first started traveling, I would like have me and my dog and my van, and I would just get this impulse like pull over and like go to this town, like go to San Francisco right fucking now. And then I would just get the impulse. Spirit would talk to me. I was following Spirit for years. My family was like, can you just like get a regular job? I'm so nervous. I'm on a holy mission,
Yeah.
And I'd be like, get this magic, get out of the car, go play a song. And I would literally just tie my dog around my waist on her leash and walk with my guitar. And then I'd find one person that said, I needed this message because like my mom just died or like something crazy. And I'd be like, my work here is done. And then I get back in my car and like do the thing over again. So, but like gathering, singing, my personal favorite is when people just sing, because it's not really, I listen to myself sing all day. Like I want the voices of the room to be uplifted. So it's mostly sing and cry. And then there's like the electronic stuff that people dance to.
Totally.
A lot of babies have been made to the song Slowly, that Creature and I get a lot of those messages.
That's a great response. Like,
yeah,
hey, thanks
like,
to you.
I know, like I made a baby, or like I use this in my like tantra course. So that song is a vibe. Like there's a song for everything, So
totally.
Do yoga. Oh, the breathe song.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great way that we can talk about how music expands and grows in these ripple effects. Like you create this piece of art, and once it's out there, especially in this world now, it's out there on social media, it's out there on people's favorite music apps, and it just goes and goes, right? So let's talk also real quickly about these 3 ladies.
Honey Wild, I know them. Look at that face.
So good.
Those are my girls.
I've collabed with 2/3. Ann and I are still in talks for some kind of collab. So how do people respond to Honey Wild? Because here's these 3 divine, beautiful beings that are singing from their heart. Yes. So how do people respond to Honey Wild?
The same. I mean, so much crying. I'm like, if you want to cry, come to one of our shows, because
I love it.
Just like, it's medicine. It's medicine for the heart. And like Honey Wild and I, like, I and Honey Wild, like, we've never made a song like for a specific reason. It's literally just listening and giving life to what the feeling is, and a place to put the big feelings.
Yeah.
And like Honey Wild is this incredible like enigma. Yep, that was when we were playing with Max Ribner in Ashland at Real Expansion.
Got some choreography. Your dancing moves are coming back.
Got the dance moves on lock. Like that's one of our favorites. Half of our rehearsals are like the choreographing dance moves.
Okay.
And learning how to harmonize. I mean, I used to be horrified of harmonizing. I couldn't harmonize, so I learned how to play percussion. Now I'm in a 3-part harmony band, so that's
Boom.
awesome. But yeah, so, and this like
That's lovely.
the surrender into the group energy, because when we collaborate, it's infinitely more powerful.
Absolutely.
And it's, it's intent. It's like a full on, it's like a marriage,
Yes.
It's a deep devotion. I'm like so devoted. The first song that we wrote was called Stay. And like
I love that.
anytime we're like having a moment, stay just a little bit longer. And we're like, okay, we're going to stay with this. Yeah.
We're definitely staying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
Me too.
Well, I definitely love the fact that you get to stay in that space of collaboration. You get to, be with these amazing soul sisters that are all in alignment, and you all get to, create and be in this beautiful world. So let's get a little sample of Honey Wild. Oh, I love it so much. Wow. It's so special, just to be able to harmonize like that and to feel into the rhythms and
being enraptured in harmony. And that's one of my driving forces of teaching, is so that I can help people experience that. And when we sing together, we are touching like our essential, like what makes us human. Because before words we would sing, and human beings need to belong with one another. To not belong to something literally translates in our biology to imminent and nearly immediate death.
Yeah.
So
like rejection, right? Yeah. Like we're not,
yes,
there's no
we
place
don't
for us.
survive.
And
Yes, we cannot survive without the tribe. And like
absolutely.
there's this whole story that we can't, but we cannot do that. We can't survive without the tribe. So then also to combine that with our physiology, with where the vocal cords are placed in our nervous system. So when we're singing with other people, we're also co-regulating our nervous systems, and we're on like a spiritual, biological, like physiological, all the levels. We are creating belonging, and creation loves when we sing together. All of nature is designed to be in harmony. It's actually the survival of the most compatible, not the
yeah, and they've done studies on all species that, where that's really what it is. Like there's that connection, there's that pack, there's this, flock of birds that can go longer distances because they're working collaboratively, right? And just what you and I have experienced too with the song that we worked on together is like when you collaborate, there's magic that unfolds that would not have happened if you would have attempted to do it all on your own. So that's like the best part of synergy, right? The connective tissue there. So you have your beautiful guitar in this shot, and someone commented, you probably know Joe. Let's put his comment on the screen. He wrote, guitar is such a wonderful way to extend that inner voice and make beautiful music to sing with.
Right. He's tuning in because that is definitely the case, because of, what I was sharing earlier with learning how to play.
Absolutely.
It feels like an extension of my body. I like on my darkest days, I sleep with it literally in my bed. Like I've been playing guitar for 17 years, and it's like my best friend,
Absolutely. Yeah. And having that instrument, for me personally, my go-to instrument's piano. And there's just something about having it be that place where, as you and I both know this, and anyone out there listening that's an artist, when you have that self-expression, that creativity, you're using these emotions that we're always going through, ebbing and flowing. Emotions are temporary. So as an artist, sometimes it's good to grab your guitar, jump on the piano. Okay, this is what I'm feeling. So how can this flow through me and for me and for others eventually, as what we've learned as artists, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not only about us in this journey in life, it's about how we get to bring it out to such a place where we feel like, okay, like this is our dharma. And for people that don't understand what dharma means, dharma is a concept from Mother India, where how Himalaya explains dharma is it's that part and piece of you in your journey where, let's say you're on your deathbed, if you were to like reflect back, you probably have so many regrets because you might have been like, oh, my number one regret, which is true when they've surveyed people, is I just listened to what other people told me to do. I didn't ever seek and go deep within myself in a profound way to uncover and to discover what it is I'm here to do. And so it's like a central component that allows us to feel whole and complete. So for example, without you launching your somatic voice technique course, then you would not be fulfilling yourself as an artist, as a teacher, and as a guide. And you just only be this one-dimensional being, where now you're this multi-dimensional expression as an artist to now encourage, support other people's growth and expansion out there as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is a great moment. I want to put up the course that you're offering for everyone to see.
Shoot, it does start. I got sick. I pushed it back to October 18th.
Okay.
Sent you the wrong flyer on accident.
Oh, no problem. I actually pulled that off your social, so it's all good in the hood. Perfect. Yeah. So the course, though, is something that people can really step into and get guidance and feel what it is that's possible for their own voice, right?
Yes.
So let's jump into this. Here's question number 4. So I'll let you take the mic and let us know in your own words, like, what is your somatic voice technique course all about?
Okay, cool. Well, I'm having so much fun on this interview, so this is awesome. Okay, so let's talk about somatic voice technique. So somatic voice technique is a course that is designed to first heal and do any repair of the voice, the inner and the outer voice. So, any time that when we were kids told we were too much, or like we didn't listen to our own inner voice, didn't speak our truth, or we are afraid to communicate what we need, or like living out of alignment with what our truth is, or maybe like an actual physical experience that happened where the throat has been, wounded. So that's the deeper healing that happens like on a physiological level, so that the soul frequency, which is like in the voice, our soul frequency is like, it's like the blueprint of our whole soul's journey, of our whole essence, is contained in the voice. So we all have this different lens of how we experience reality. It's like we're all different facets of God or creation, and we're all viewing it. And the other side of that, the other crucial component to our human experience, is the expressing of our unique experience. So whatever your dharma is, it's through the voice that it is expressed into the world. So that's the other pillar of the work, is to heal, create confidence in like the physiological level, like on like in the nervous system, and regulating the body so that it can hold our essence, and then teaching how to on a like a technical level, like just breath support, like leaning into the body, to staying confident, teaching people the art of song channeling, which is like there's a sound for everything. There's a sound is like the codes of creation. How to hold space for song circles, and how to channel music that can really to manifest or create synchronicity in your life. It's like teaching people, like it's like a mystery school of sound and frequency, but through like the main focus of the physical voice. So it's really, really deep. and just like on a human level, learning how to express like this like infinitely potent thing has been like such a fun challenge for me. But on a very pragmatic level, this course is 5 weeks long. It's half group classes, half one-on-one. And yeah, I'm very, very excited about it. I've put a lot of work and love and just like all of my life experience into it. And I've been teaching for about 7 years. So this is really fun for me. And we start October 18th. So that is a little bit about somatic voice technique.
Amazing. Right on cue. This is the website that everyone can have a look at. And as you look below here, it's somaticvoicetechnique.com. And this is a fundamentals course, a 5-week comprehensive online course to heal the physical, emotional, and spiritual facets of your voice, open and empower your creative channel, and fully embody your authentic expression. I love that. So good.
Mhm.
And here's the proper flyer. So proper. And here is beautiful experiences of that fundamentals. And you know how it is for a lot of people out there. There's so many stories of, hey, my choir teacher told me to mouth the words, or someone told me to be quiet, or as you said when you were starting, people, hey, you suck, you know. So
Right.
there's a lot of trauma and drama around how people have chosen to express themselves. So
Yes.
that's a piece of what I believe that what you're offering is you're empowering people. So there's a reawakening, right? There's to open the throat chakra. That's an
Yes.
essential component of living life as a human
Yeah.
organism. That's what we're here to
Yeah.
do. We're here to educate ourselves. We're here to transform. We're here to have profound shifts. And some people don't know that this instrument, our voice, holds the key to that for many of us. Because once
Yeah.
we actually say what we're feeling and we have our thoughts and our words reflect our actions, then we're in integrity. And
Right.
so your voice techniques, what I love about it is all about healing these spiritual, emotional, and physical blocks. And as we said, these wounds of the voice that may not be physical wounds, but just energetically. And then how you get to activate that creative channel. Because I truly believe this. Everyone has a song or some creative art piece within them, whether it's a painting, whether it's a poem, whether it's an amazing wellness center that they're going to bring community and people together. There's some gift that I feel people have that is dormant that gets to be activated. So what I love about what you're offering people is a possibility not only to open up the channel in the voice, but who knows where all of a sudden this confidence in communicating can then spill over into relationships, family, romantic, friendships, collaborations that you have. And to have this gift of music to really allow for people to be like, oh, okay, here I am. This is me.
Yeah.
Like I forgot. And then
Right.
some of it, I'm sure there's emotions, as you said, people cry with their music
Oh my
anyway.
God,
So I'm
much.
sure there's like forgiveness, like forgive yourself for not
Mhm.
maybe being there and remembering who you are. So
Yeah. A lot of us self-abandon when it comes to speaking the truth. And, you know, it makes sense because we've been told by and large, especially in the Western world, that there's people that have a voice that's important and people that don't.
mhm.
And
Absolutely.
it's actually crucial to our evolution on the planet that we use our voices. Like we need you to use your voice. And
Mhm.
once that truth is told, then we know what direction to go. It's like the North Star. And
Mhm.
if we've abandoned the truth of our voices for so long, like it's really hard to hear, you know. Also, this is a super fun fact is that like the vagus nerve, which connects all the way to the guts, and you know, the gut is like the main brain that's telling us yes or no. So if we've been disconnected from here, we're disconnected from our guts. We're disconnected from what our yes and what our no, what direction we're supposed to be going. This is like our navigation. So like I don't have a voice. I'm like, let's talk about that because you do. And I literally like I was the last person that would be like expected to be having this interview with you, like being deaf in one ear and you know, being like the tone deaf one in my family. Like what I'm just like, trust me, you
Yeah.
have a voice.
You're the proof in the pudding, right? There's obstacles, there's blocks, there's barriers, and you get to be committed and to take that quantum leap into what's possible on the other side. And it takes courageousness. And that's what I love about you. You've gone through it. So you're a phenomenal teacher because you get to guide people through those breakdowns that they might have or these, you know, and it is a 5-week process. I want to show to everyone what the curricular path is. In week one, you talk about frequency first. Then week 2, you get into the resonant body. Week 3 is song channel alchemy. Week 4 is embodying your soul frequency. And then week 5 is everything is music. So feel free to give some highlights on what people are going to learn and how you deliver this.
Yeah. So the first one is like really cool. We do this drum journey where I have people like go into a theta state and access their voice. We like take them through the birth canal, like out into the universe, and like meet their soul frequency and then bring it back into their body with their voice. They're singing the whole time. And like a breakdown in the nervous system and just like a, hey, what's up guys? Like, my name is Kayla. I'm a super big dork. Like, this is all, we're just going to go on an adventure and we're going to explore. So it's like extremely deep, and then we get extremely silly, which is like, if you don't like to have a good time, then don't work with me because we're going to have fun. Okay.
Love it.
Week 2 is one-on-one coaching. So that's when like I get to drop in with everybody and like what your vocal range is, like where in the body it's sitting, and then teaching you how to really work with that. And I know how to do this because, as I said before, I used to not have upper register at all, and I taught myself how to do that. And oftentimes our vocal map, our body voice connection will map like our consciousness. For me, like a lot of people, if they're like not very grounded, they'll have like a very, very high voice, but they have a really hard time dropping into the guts. So it's like we map through the psyche, map through the body, and then that's also see how that reflects in the world as well, like our greater patterns. Week 3 is really all about music as our home and origin, and teaching people how to utilize song like as a creation code. And then this is cool because once that happens, synchronicities will start happening. You'll meet the right people, places, and things that will like help you on your next step of your journey, and like teach people how to channel music to connect with themselves, to connect to nature. Week 4 again is a one-on-one, so then we'll go back in and we'll review everything, another level of like the breath and like the technicality, as well as just like whatever may be coming up. So it's like really deep. Week 5 is like a lot about integrating all the big pieces, having a share, and just giving people a chance to share about what their journey has been, and then also applying this into like everyday living. Like, how are we going to move forward in life, and how are we going to have a generous heart and connect with our song circles, and maybe even start a song circle, or sing that song like in a medicine ceremony, which almost all my clients actually came to me because ayahuasca told them to find a singing teacher, which I endlessly fascinating, but like
beautiful.
So that's,
love that. Well, I got a great photo here of you playing the drum, and you said you use that drumming technique in the process of movement and flow, and really tapping into that sonic soul retrieval, as you call it, which I love those words together. I've never heard those 3 words together. It's like, yes,
sonic soul retrieval. It's like teaching people, it's like sound healing, like bringing, just having the soul in the body is oftentimes the medicine that's needed to literally like heal any ailment. I actually used that photo for some of the promo when I did a 4-week series here that was completely sold out from the first day.
Amazing.
It was called Vocal Embodiment Fundamentals.
I love that.
I love the fundamentals.
Yeah, and what I love too is you're encouraging people to tap into their inner child.
Yep, that's me.
Hey, there she is.
Queen. Yep, there
and
she
then,
is.
then here comes the evolution.
There's the yep. There we are. There's just golden queens in the doorway. Veer McCoy, who's an amazing musician, taught me a lot. He took that photo for us.
And I love, Veer's amazing. Of course, he's the man. And I love how it's such a experience more and more when you are an individual singer-songwriter and you have your own pathway as an artist. And then I love the collaborative project that you're a part of course, Honey Wild. And so that's what I feel is really powerful about your course, is you can awaken people on that individual level where then they can be self-expressed and they can discover and remember whatever it is that they haven't been able to really tap into previously. But then what I feel is, I'm sure you've already inspired people, is all of a sudden in the class, in the course, because you're doing group as well as one-on-one, you get these people that like, hey, you're awesome. Hey, you're awesome. How about we create some awesomeness together?
That's all. That's all we need. Let's just
Mhm.
everybody love everybody. Let's all work together. I'm
Completely.
like so uninterested in doing things alone. Like I love myself and we hang out and I'm just like as much collaboration as possible.
Mhm.
As
Yeah,
much as
same.
possible. Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Goodness. And
Excellent.
we can collaborate
And
when
so,
we know our own voices too. Yeah.
Totally. And I feel like when you get the confidence to share, generally
Mhm.
speaking, just share in person with others and in one-on-one conversations. Who knows? Maybe a local karaoke, a local talent show, but
Mhm.
also maybe posting what you're working on socials. We're in this like unprecedented time to be alive, where
Right.
people. I mean, there are very like successful people in all ways of what you measure success, right? Mind, body, spirit, wealth, health, where they were simply just starting out on this app called YouTube and they just started to sing covers, create their own music, and then they
Uh-huh.
are, you know, Alicia Cara is someone I thought of that she's from Canada. That's how she started. I think there's so many artists out there that, so
Yeah.
what I believe your course is presenting and inviting people into is let's begin, let's just start. And then let's see where your journey and your path takes you there. And as you said,
Absolutely.
it can absolutely cross over into other parts of your life where, wow, I have
100%.
confidence in singing. Now maybe I
Mhm.
have confidence in other areas of my life because how I do one thing, I do everything. So that could be really
Yeah, in a
powerful.
relationship too, like learning conflict resolution, like just knowing the sound of your own voice and being able to regulate your nervous system to your own truth. That's like way easier to work through things in community. And I always have this like philosophy that's like, yo, I'd rather do this now. I'd rather work through this shit with you right now than like
Totally.
come back in the next life. Like, let's do it now.
Yeah, get it
Let's
handled.
work this drama out.
We're about the Atma shall return or not return, and we're
Yeah.
going to get the lessons. And Francine agrees here. Thanks for chiming in here.
Francine, we met on the island of Maui on a property called.
Oh, magical.
I learned a lot about sound on that.
All right. Francine's in. Boom.
Yeah, I'll give
All
you
right.
my email.
You bet.
Yes.
We'll be in
Yep.
connection with you. Thanks for being a yes. And
Yeah.
as you mentioned, so the class starts. So some people, of course, as I always say, nothing happens unless it's in my calendar. We can talk about anything all day. So let's
Seriously.
get down to the basics here.
It's
So
brass
for
taxes.
brass tacks. So
It's
whatever.
actually October 18th.
October 18th. Okay, we're going to start October 18th. Okay.
Yes, October
Perfect.
18th is the start date.
Wonderful.
And I have an early bird registration going on right now. Early bird and an affiliate program. I really want to make this accessible for people. So I'm doing like payment plans. I'm doing a few different ways that people can get involved. Early bird registration ends October 1st, and I have an affiliate program. So if you're interested in that, then message me. If you just want to sign up, then let's just go. And then also you can message me. I do 15-minute discovery calls with people. So if you're having questions or like feelings or need a little support, do reach out.
I love that.
to me.
Yeah. Any clarification that anyone has out there about the program and the course and what I always love is, I'm sure you feel the same thing when you're on calls with people, you really get to tap into like what their vision is for themselves and what
Yeah.
that potential could be. And
Mhm.
then you find that capacity for someone to be like, okay, this is my
Right.
next step in my evolution.
Mhm. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, we need everyone's gifts like right now. Like we came to Earth right now
Mhm.
with more ability to express ourselves than has ever been possible. So like
Absolutely.
right now is the time.
And here we are live streaming right now and sharing
Live
with people.
streaming right
Boom, here it
now.
is. Wednesday, October 18th. Sign up. And this is
Sign
what you'll
up.
get. 3 group coaching calls, 2 one-on-one personalized coaching calls, weekly lesson plans, community support, journal prompts, rituals. And this is the early bird. It ends very soon. So you can get this course for $649. And then after that, it'll be $100 more. So everyone loves to save money. Come on.
Everybody, come on. Let's get
Jump
down
right in. Boom. So there's a website. Go there. I'm going to also include the website in the comments. So wherever you're watching this from and listening from, either live or on the archive, you can absolutely hop in. And Francine gave you some extra love here. Give a big shout to Maui love. Some aloha.
Maui no koi.
Yes, amazing. Okay, so I think everyone knows about the course, when it starts, action steps, go to the website. And so let's jump into question number 5, which is where we've arrived now in this live streaming podcast. Are there any words, advice, wisdom that is coming to the surface right now you'd like to share?
Yes. So if you're stuck in a loop of feeling like unexpressed, and it's like, oh, when I feel better or I'm like more ready to share, then I'll share, and it just keeps continuously compounding. What my invitation is ask the part of your body that feels stuck what it has to say. If you're like, my throat, it's so close, sit down, get out a pen and a paper, and give it a voice. And sometimes you can even give it a character. Like there's parts of me that are like I call her the volcano monster that just like wants to be loved, and she's like really intense, and she like creates all this havoc in my body. So I give her a voice and I write it down. So that's one piece. The other piece is if you want to express something and you keep getting in your mind, just ask your heart what it wants to say. And you can always trust your heart. Your heart always knows. And the third piece of advice for getting out of a vocal block is to be of service with it. Get out of the way and ask how your vessel can be used to be of service to humanity or to the planet. So that's my words of wisdom for you.
Amazing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And we have some fantastic news, and want to make sure everyone knows where to follow you on Instagram.
Kayla Diana.
Boom.
Me.
And so we encourage anyone and everyone out there to, if you're on Instagram, if you're a content creator, is to create an Instagram reel with our song Breathe. And this is a song that includes our brother from another mother, Quantimus. And I'll zoom in here, we're close to getting 10,000 reels. And what's powerful about these Instagram trending audio reels is people from all over the world. Here's a video that has like 34,000, and they're talking about clay masking and facial cupping. Here's someone
oh my God, that's so
Germany.
Fun.
Oh, here's a pie recipe. I'll take it. Here's someone got married and they're using our song Breathe. There's someone it's amazing how so many ways music, as we talked about from the beginning of this podcast, can get out there. Here's someone teaching additional yoga classes, breath work. Here's someone out with horses in the wild. Ejercicio de descarga energética en español es muy importante. This looks like an awesome video. Some cave somewhere. Like, what is happening here? So I encourage anyone and everyone out there to, and if you see the song being used on Instagram, all you have to do is click the top part here, and then it'll just naturally go to the reels. So that's
84,000 plays. Good Lord.
I know, right? That's what's amazing about the power of social media, right? And so there's all these,
and also make sure to tag your artist if you're using your
please, and tag with the invite collaborator feature. And I've been doing that a lot, where then it appears on our page. We can make sure that people see your beautiful work and gifts in the world. And really, essentially, this Kayla Diana and Quantimus for this track, it's like we're the soundtrack, and then you create and generate whatever it is that you're feeling. And if you're feeling a vibe and you're like, hey, I want to use this as a soundtrack. And then, of course, the artist gets streaming a little bit of, I'll call it not streaming dollars, but we'll call it streaming cents from like things of this sort. And of course, the bigger request would be if anyone is really aligned with this song and you want to license it for a documentary, a movie, a film, or anything like that, feel free to reach out to us individually. Absolutely. And so here's the great request now, and this is like an amazing achievement for this song. So we are very close, super close to achieving, and we'll go to your Spotify page, Kayla Diana. We're at almost 950,000 streams globally. And so if everyone out there, if you can go to your Spotify, and I'll put a link in the comments as well. And if you open up Spotify, and the best thing to do is to follow all three of us as artists. And then, of course, stream the song and then add it to your playlists. That's like the best way this day and age. I mean, this is a timestamp, right? In 2023, pretty much the music industry is this app called Spotify, essentially. That's where it is. It's just how it is. It's not CDs, they're not vinyls, they're not cassettes. And there's so many beautiful words to this song. There is magic here. I can feel it coming through the cracks. I can hear it. I don't think I've ever really read them. I think I'll hear them so often.
I remember the moment that these words came in. I was sitting at a stoplight, and I was like on my way to do this side job. And I was listening, and I was like, there's magic here. I can feel it coming through the cracks. I can hear it sing through the song of creation. And oh my God. And I was like, Nate, I was like, I got it. And I sent him a voice note. And then he sent you that voice note.
Yes.
And he was like, I hadn't met you. And he's like, I love that. Let me just check in with Dave. And he's like, Dave loves it. Let's make it a song. And then he came over, and it was like back in the day when we made this song. And I remember we didn't have an actual mic stand. So we literally wrapped like 4 of my like bras around the microphone to like a like sort of a thing.
Of course he did. Like, what else would you have?
In my living room. It was like it was hilarious. And now like all these people be like doing all kinds of things to this song, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, we saw all the Instagram reels people are creating. I'm sure people are listening on other platforms and of course on Spotify, and I've heard it being created in so many, different experiences. So I'm gonna pull
my mom
up
loves this one too.
Oh, she does. Oh, hey, that's all that matters. Let's just face it.
My mom, she's a tough cookie. She really, really she's like, the production is so good. I'm like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah, she's like, the sound design slaps.
She loves it. It really is. Like
amazing. Well, let's have everyone listen to this beautiful version you did of it on Instagram.
Just breathe. It's gonna be okay. Just breathe.
So good. Oh my gosh. I remember I had this on loop for so long when you first put this out there.
Oh, so
people love it. People love the behind the scenes. I think so many artists sometimes feel like has to be so polished, has to be so perfect, has to be this and that and the other. And when you're raw and you just put it together, I tell people this all the time. This is the singer. A great song is a great song. It's a great song. If you're singing in the shower, if you're singing in your car, as you came up with these lyrics in the car. I didn't know that backstory, by the way, about you being at a traffic light. That's awesome. And especially, I feel like these last 3 years of just the huge shift in the matrix and existential questioning of everything and what was happening on a global scale and the macro and the
just
micro.
Breathe.
Everyone's like, just breathe. And we're like,
just
yes. So let's get this track to 1 million streams on Spotify with everyone's help out there. We can do it.
Let's get it on some movies. I remember I kept like leaving. I was like working and I kept like being like, I have to go to the bathroom, and like going to the bathroom, like writing more lyrics, and just like the muses were so alive.
Of course. Oh my gosh. Right when I heard it, as I said, that's when Nate was like, hey, how's it? I was like, keep going, go. Like, I was like a cheerleader, like, let's go, LETSGO. Like, remembering all the cheers from high school.
You're the best. You're such a good cheerleader.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you so much for being here, for sharing about your backstory of music, sharing about how people respond to your music, as well as this amazing course that you're offering that I know so many people are going to get a ton out of. and it's the Somatic Voice Technique Fundamentals course. This is a 5-week comprehensive online course to heal the physical, emotional, and spiritual facets of your voice, open and empower your creative channel, and fully embody your authentic expression. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, it's an honor. It's a pleasure. And it's all happening. And can't wait to hear more testimonials of the people that sign up and that complete the course and just have massive success and breakthroughs through it all. So thank you, Kayla, Diana. Appreciate everyone out there. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on our websites. Appreciate everyone being here. Okay. Take care. Ciao.
Bye.